You may not know this by the look of my physical appearance. You may not know this by the look of my physical game collection, and I'm a pretty big fan of SNK. King of Fighters 14 is one of my favourite fighting games of all time, and I'm really happy that Terry Bogard is in Super Smash Bros. King of Fighters AllStar is not a traditional King of Fighters game, however. It's a beat-em-up game in the style of Final Fight. Or Streets of Rage, I guess. You fucking Sega Genesis. It's somewhat surprising that it doesn't control that badly, considering that there's nowhere near the amount of special moves in a normal King of Fighters game. You move by sliding around on the screen, and you can dodge with a quick swipe. You can also block stuff too, by pressing the block button. This game, however, would effectively be impossible to play on an iPhone. The movement on an iPhone is a bit awkward, and you might accidentally slip your finger on a button or two. The only real problem that I have with the button placement is that the tag out buttons are all the way in the corner, meaning you have to pause to move your thumb up a little bit. The attack buttons though are surprisingly well placed, and put within thumb's reach of each other. When you start the game, you get to pick one of 3 characters after a simple tutorial, kind of similar to Dr. Mario World, only more streamlined. I picked Terry Bogard.
He is my son.
Rather story. All iOS games seem to have overcomplicated stories these days. Something about the graphics though is that the animation in the cutscenes and menus is unintentionally really creepy. The gameplay actions are perfect, they are definitely King of Fighters quality, but everything else has an uncanny valley effect to it. Mostly because the models in the cutscenes and menus seem to be 2D renders that use tweening animation, while in-game models are completely 3D. For example, there's this character called Noah, right? Watch how she moves. It seems odd, doesn't it? Like, the way she just stares at you too doesn't help either. On the other hand, we have the generic mook bad guys. They use still portraits, which compared to Noah here, does not make me think I slipped into the back rooms. The microtransactions in this game are the same as every day of my sad
existence.
Every iOS game has one of 2 systems when it comes to microtransactions now. It's getting a bit old. At least there's a neat little bit of exploitation here in the form of a daily free summon, which I think has the same rate as the paid summon. This might be subject to change though. The summon animation itself is nice and exciting, exactly the way it needs to be to get those endorphins flowing, so you go like, maxed out? What? How did that happen? How will I pay rent this month? Getting back to the gameplay, the combat potential here is pretty high, and attacks feel powerful to land. Somehow there's no jumping, but that's not really needed, since there's no platforming in the game itself. There is a doge though, and you're going to need it to fight some of the bosses. Speaking of the bosses, the names of the bosses themselves are pretty generic. Like this guy's just called Popo, and the guy after it is called Poo-Poo. King of Fighters is known for its crossovers, but longtime fans called it a waste of a character slot when Mighty Armadillo joined the roster. Also, being an iOS game, crossover events are bound to happen anyway. Why would you look at that? They crossed over with Tekken and Samurai Showdown while I was writing this very review. Ha! 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 So this game has a couple systems in place that are designed to exploit, and some are a bit strangely not. First you have AP, which is used to play levels. There's also elemental-based character traits. There's also arena where you fight and you get players. It's kind of seamless. You got so much AP. Elementals I'm not going to explain. You can't see me over all the overlap. What? Fuck! I should probably slow down. Anyway, moving on. Let's start with AP, because I don't know what it stands for. It's the same as the standard stamina thing from most iOS games, except here you can actually go over the maximum. Some levels take a lot of AP, while some only take like 3. Speaking of the levels, now would be a good time to talk about level structure. It's chapter based like in Pokemon, but the user interface is actually really interesting to look at. It's got pictures on it! It's 4 levels per chapter, each getting harder as it goes along. Occasionally you get a bonus level where you break a car or a rock as a specific character. But unfortunately not as Rock Howard. Why is Rock Howard not in this game yet? Predictable. Different enemies have different elements. What do these mean? Well, you know how in Fire Emblem they have that rock, paper, scissors bullshit? This is the same, except it's rock, paper, scissors, lizard, creeper. It's one of those things where certain characters have certain elements. Some are stronger against others and do more damage. They call it leverage. Occasionally, during a level, you'll get interrupted by a battle with a boss. It's one of the only parts of the game where it's on a 2D plane, and not a 3D one. You can't jump, so it controls the same. So why have it on a 2D plane? Could have had it the same as the rest of the game. Have some fucking consistency. The phrase pay to win gets thrown around a lot, especially when it comes to video games. For example, a lot of people said that Mario Kart Tour was pay to win at launch. However, this simply wasn't the case. On the opposite end of the pay to win spectrum, however, we have a game that has multiplayer at launch and a shop where you can buy experience items. Literally, dead in one hit, every single time! KO! This applies for both Arena and League, so it's pretty ridiculous how many levels higher than you they put you up against. What is this, the 40s? Even if you're 2 levels below someone, you still get the shit beaten out of you. What's even worse about this is the scoring system in Arena mode. It's based off percentage of health left. I survived an onslaught of bollocks, yet I only got 7 points. This mode in particular seems to be based more around blocking and timing dodges than ever, but compared to normal KOF, blocking is an actual button you need to push. It doesn't quite feel right. This game has RPG elements to it, in the fact that you have to use a character builder to get the special moves unlocked. You don't even start with your super. What's even stupider about this character builder is that the characters in this game have level maximums, but this can be made higher with evolving. Evolving is a start to your character, making a 4-star character a 5-star character, and etc. Affinity is a thing. You level up your fighter's affinity, and apparently its power increases. What is with all these pointless systems? Okay, like, there's a saying I always remember when talking about iOS games, right? It's, keep it simple, stupid. This game has too many different systems for me to keep track of. Affinity, AP, Arena, leveling up, kickback sniffing, level grinding, snivel finding, blue fish! I mean, it's a good beat 'em up that you can play for 10 minutes while on the toilet, featuring your favourite King of Fighters characters, but other than that, it's pretty standard iOS fare. I don't think there's a way to get my SNK fix on my iPad. Like, if only someone would point out another way. Oh wow! It's Cardboard Jesus! Everyone's favourite character.
Hello, it's Misa, Cardboard Jesus. Did you know that Metal Slug has an iOS game? It's simple, just how you like your iOS games.
Oh, alright. I'll give it a shot at least.
Cool shit, bro. Cardboard Jesus, away!
God damn it, this is the second time someone's broken through my roof this week. Oh, I better check out this game then. Oh no. Hey, you! What do you remember Metal Slug for? Good graphics, awesome music, fast-paced run-and-gun gameplay. That one level with the maggots. Mars people! Watching advertisements. Well, this game has like 3 of those, I guess. The music is from Metal Slug. No remixes here. Although, why would you remix the music? It's an idle game. Look, there are 2 types of iOS games. Actual games, and then idle games. You know, time wasters. You take it out on the bus so you can make it all the way to Castlemaine on a cramped V-line bus, because the trains aren't working at the time, in an attempt not to kill yourself because of it. So many fat people. Why the fat people on a cramped coach? I can't breathe. I really can't breathe here. I'm very slowly dying. What you're looking at now is the gameplay. You push buttons when you have the right amount of gold. Satisfaction is had when you see your favourite Metal Slug characters win. Shockingly enough, the microtransactions aren't as bad here. However, advertisements are. See how there's a battle going on? Well, you can speed it up if you're an impatient fuck by watching an advertisement.
On the roof seal.
It increases the speed of the battle a noticeable amount, but not enough to justify watching an advertisement. You can't watch more than one either to make it go even faster, so what's the point? Battle speed just seems to change randomly anyway. Sometimes it's at normal speed, but other times it's 1.5 times the speed. The way you unlock characters is a bit weird. You can get them 2 ways, by doing a boot camp, or just getting them, by spending gems. Boot camps are also strange. Your soldiers just fight some enemies for a little bit and then you get stuff. Here's the even stranger part though. Once you beat a boot camp, you can auto clear it and get the rewards just by clicking a button. You need these tickets to enter the boot camp anyway, but why allow auto-clearing? It's good from a player sense, but this is not how you exploit people! The microtransactions are non-existent. How could you even have microtransactions in a game where you don't play it? They're in there, but why would you ever use them? You have two little sets of panels here. One to upgrade your soldiers, and one to use your slugs. Oh yeah, slugs are in this game. You get slugs by loot boxes, but you don't use money to get a currency for them. What the slugs actually do is warp you a number of stages ahead, depending on the slug itself. It takes up a type of energy, but this energy recharges itself, and the slugs have a recharge period, so you never actually run out of energy. Now that's a pretty big missed opportungus there. Why give so much stamina in the first place? Wouldn't having less give the player more incentive to pay money? Let's begrudgingly talk about the graphical style, shall we? Metal Slug as a series has a thing about reusing sprites, which is definitely fine, because of how well crafted these sprites are. Then take a look at this. This right here is puppet animation. Why did they not reuse sprites from the arcade games? It probably would have taken more effort to make a new art style like this, and it doesn't even look as good as the arcade games. And furthermore, oh, buttfuck baloney. It's a Mars people invasion.
Here, take this. You will need it.
Thanks, Cardboard Jesus. Right, let's go.
Mission 1, start. Heavy machine gun.
Oh look, it's a slug. I better activate the warp drive. I have to get to the final level, and fast. Aha! There it is.
Final mission, start. Heavy machine gun.
Damn, I'm still not fast enough. I need instant gratification. Oh no! I drank liquid AIDS! I hope nothing bad happens. Oh no! It's Dr. Madong! Loser! Guess what I still have? You little prick face, that thing cost me $200. Well, I'll be keeping it! Fuck you! Oh shit! Fly, boys, get out of here! Damn it, I'm never gonna get that fucking Mega Man board game back. What else is there to do? Oh, look! Some paper on the ground!